Hello, welcome. My name is Jacqueline Roberts, and this is my e-portfolio. So I'm just going to kind of sum up what my e-portfolio encompasses. So first, my personal and professional goals. Personally, I'd like to continue building a family and trying to maintain a fairly healthy lifestyle, um, and really just build my family with my husband and perhaps buy a new house. Um, Professionally, I'd like to continue teaching. I teach fifth grade and I'd like to continue doing that for a little bit longer. I'm just about done with my master's in education administration, so I'm super excited about that. I want to definitely continue learning from my current principal and eventually become a principal, ideally at my current school. Um, Beyond that, I don't know if I would really look beyond a principal role, but maybe. My leadership philosophy, to sum that up, is I first and foremost believe in collaboration. And this is something that I have seen through my work as a teacher is really effective. And I believe as an educational leader that it will be the same. Collaboration is really key. Commitment, I want to make sure that I'm surrounded by people who believe that all children can learn to their highest potential. And results, I definitely believe in a data-driven school and a data-driven environment. And also self-aware. I think it's really important to be a reflective individual and own mistakes and be personable. Here is my resume that highlights my 9 years of teaching in Jeffco Public Schools. And the big one, the annotated bibliography. So I wanted to highlight some important themes that I gathered while reading 33 articles and writing annotated bibliographies on each one of them. So I won't go through all 32 pages, but I will summarize the themes. So first of all, a school has to be driven by a mission and vision. It must be developed collaboratively, and it must be visible, it must be communicated, it must be heard on a daily basis to really drive daily actions. Collaboration, as I've already mentioned, that was a huge theme in many of these articles. And collaboration, you know, touches on a lot of things. You have to collaborate with community resources. So, you know, as many community resources as you can develop relationships with, that's really important. At our current school, we have a family and school liaison, and she's a really big help in this aspect, and it's a really important theme that I gathered from many of these articles. We also need to collaborate, of course, with families. They want to be heard and valued. Staff, all the way from facilities managers to paraprofessionals to teachers, you really have to collaborate with staff and provide opportunities for collaboration and for them to be heard and share their voice. And then we also want to collaborate with students. And the idea of collaboration as a building leader, you know, is not, it definitely makes it more manageable for the principal. But it also, as I've mentioned, really is more effective. It's more effective for the community and the staff and the students to feel valued and to feel heard. Communication, you have to communicate with all stakeholders. So, you know, all of this kind of collaboration and communication is building relationships, and so that's really important with all stakeholders. As a principal, you really want to hire and retain the best staff. And then also as a leader, you want to provide the resources. So you need to be able to provide time for collaboration. You need to be able to provide instructional professional development and professional development for all levels of staff. Providing resources also means providing the right people in the right places, and materials, including digital materials. Technology is really important. And safety. Obviously, safety is really important for a professional, excuse me, a building leader to provide their school. And then along the lines of collaboration and providing professional development, I have to build a culturally responsive school. And now more than ever, it's more important. But even in all these articles, it is critical. I have to build a culturally responsive, equitable school. And so again, professional development around this, really modeling self-reflection and expecting that from my staff. Providing the resources that will be able to provide a culturally responsive school. Again, reflection. I've talked about that a little bit, and developing relationships. And finally, the last theme was really, as a building principle, to be visible. And so I think if you're doing all these things, if you're communicating, if you are collaborating, if you're doing those things really well, if you're verbalizing the mission and vision, then hopefully you can also make yourself visible. So now on to the highlights of the activities. So these are some of the hours that I've logged. These are the district activities that I'd like to start and highlight. So first, category 1, vision and goals. This is a picture of my principal, myself, and our school and family liaison. And we are holding up awards that our school won or received for the 2018-2019 school year. So the first is the John Irwin Award and the Governor's Distinguished Award. And so these are both based off of the standardized assessments that we take each year, grades 3 through 5. And so it was really important as, as wanting to become a building principal that I attend, again, is to be visible and to show the importance of valuing the work that we've put in and valuing the recognition that we got. And then the other one in the district category I wanted to highlight was under category 2, teaching and learning. So I attended a workshop in which we were building math formative assessments for the district. So I worked collaboratively with a team of people across the district to really build a bank of rigorous, challenging, standards-based formative assessments. So these problems we were gathering, we were making sure that they fit exactly with the standards, and that we had another set of eyes to really look it over and say, yeah, I think this matches, or no, I don't think it is, or no, I think this one's better. So it was really a collaborative effort, and it's a bank of resources that our district will be using for the whole district next year. So that was exciting to be able to be a part of that. Next are my elementary activities that I'd like to highlight. And the first one I'd like to highlight is under, again, teaching and learning. And so one of the professional developments that we did this year, our instructional coach primarily put this on, was around small guided reading groups. And so she videoed me completing a guided reading group in my classroom with my 5th graders, as well as a 1st grade teacher in her classroom. And then that was part of the professional development, was we read an article and then we watched these videos and looked at how they, it was trying to be a model of what this article said on how guided reading should be designed and how it should be kind of outlined and what it should look like. And then also I'd like to highlight under categories 5, ethics and integrity, as well as 6, education systems, is being part of the instructional leadership team. So this is something that I have done at 2 different schools for about, 5 years now. I've been part of the instructional leadership team, maybe 6. But what I'd like to highlight here is just really currently with COVID, and we've met virtually towards the end of the year, we really looked at positive possible solutions to what school might look like in the fall. And we really were just taking feedback from so many stakeholders, from staff, from families, and trying to synthesize that and analyze that and look at next steps. And then my secondary hours, I'd like to highlight a couple of these, including section 5. Oh, wrong section, excuse me. Ethics and integrity activities. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do want to do 4. Collaborating with key stakeholders. So I attended a band and also orchestra concerts, so 2 different nights at Wheat Ridge High School, where the high school band and orchestras performed along with surrounding elementary schools and the feeding middle school. And so it was really, really important to build that relationship with families, and not only families that I have currently, but families that have moved on, that are in middle school and high school now, but as well as to show support for the staff at the middle school and the high schools. So they really, really appreciated that. And then finally, section 6 under education systems, I collaborated, me and my 2 5th grade teammates, we collaborated with the counselors at our feeding middle school. So we worked together to help transition the 5th graders to 6th grade. And so this really is a chance for us to advocate for our kids and to make sure they're getting the supports that they need moving on. So for example, at the middle school, they have a program for student leaders. And so at this meeting, we really advocated for some students who aren't necessarily great leaders currently, but we felt like even with, some challenges they might have, we felt like if given the opportunity to be a leader, that they really could succeed. And so that was really great to have that collaboration between the middle school and the elementary school. Let's jump back to my reflection. So I just wanted to highlight at the bottom really the synthesis stage, that after reflecting on everything I've done throughout this master's program, I am invigorated to become a principal. I want to currently continue to develop relationships with my principal, with her boss, the community superintendent, with families, the community, various people in the district. I think that that's really important, just trying to obviously keep doing my best as a 5th grade teacher and continue building those relationships. And finally is the activity form. So I've really highlighted several activities already, but 2 more activities I wanted to highlight that I didn't highlight already. Includes, again, just the ILT. That's really the instructional leadership. That's where I spent most of my time. And we just, I feel like it's a really positive, powerful team, and it shows that collaboration really is valued. And then the other piece was our PLC training that we attended as an ILT. And so that was these 24 hours. So it was 3 full days of PLC learning that was really, really valuable, that we brought back to the staff. And so I wanted to highlight that. Otherwise, I have learned a great deal. I've worked really hard, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot.